there, but I'm sure there might be with some of you a little turmoil in the air, what with all of the craziness in the news and the big debate tonight. So a lot of times things that are happening around us can become internalized, and we can start feeling a little hecticness or a little turmoil within ourselves as well. So we're going to try to spend a little while just kind of centering ourselves. Sometimes our minds get all scattered and we just need to like scoop them all up in a net and bring ourselves back to center. So we're going to begin in an upright seated position. And then I'll ask you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And turn your palms upward. And see if you can join your thumb with your ring finger. So your thumb represents the fire element. Your ring finger represents the earth element. So we are, in a sense, trying to fire up our earth element, helping us to feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more steady, maybe a little bit more connected, a little bit more stable. And as we sit here for a few moments, begin to check in with your physical body. Can you feel your hips connected to the earth below you? Do you have any sensation in your low back? And as you travel up your spine from your lower back to your middle back, can you perhaps lift yourself up just a bit taller in your seat? Take a deep breath in, bring your shoulders up to your ears, hold them there for just a moment. And as you exhale, release your shoulders back down. And then just get a sense of what things feel like in your upper back, in your shoulders. Do you have any sensation in your neck? Can you tuck your chin back ever so slightly so that your head is resting on your neck, not pulling on your neck? As you sit in silence, notice where your mind goes. Is it anticipating when we're going to start to move? Is it worrying about something that happened prior to coming to your mat? Or maybe it's anticipating something in the far future that might never happen. Or perhaps it's something you're worrying about, something that happened over a decade ago that you can't fix or change. Our minds like to go places. Our yoga practice is a tool that we have to keep them here, to be here now. So we'll start to incorporate our breath as a tool to stay present. As you inhale, perhaps you notice your spine lift a little bit higher. And as you exhale, maybe you relax those shoulders again. Inhaling expands your ribs. And as you exhale, they deflate. And as you take a few more intentional breaths, just notice whatever it is you notice about the movement of your breath in your body and the way your breath causes movement in your body. And then release your thumb and your ring finger. Let your hands rest on your knees. Try to keep your eyes closed if you can. We're going to start to generate some movement from our very low belly, making some big circles all the way around. So your whole body's moving in a big circle, but we're imagining that that movement is coming from below our belly button. And then imagine that the movement starts to emanate from your rib cage and reverse the movement, go the other way. And then generate the movement from your shoulders and reverse it once again. So the movement's not changing at all. It's just the perception or the intention of where the movement is starting from. And then come back to a still point. Maybe you press gently into your hands, lifting yourself a little taller in your seat, and then bring your hands together at your heart center. Let your chin drop down toward your chest. See if you can tuck your chin a little bit closer to your chest. And then slowly start to open your eyes as you follow your hands with your gaze. Raise your arms nice and high up over your head. Take another big breath in, reach up even higher. And as you exhale, let that left hand come down, your right arm's reaching up and over. Stretch as far as you can. See if your elbow can be right near your ear. And then inhale, lift yourself back up. As you exhale, that right hand comes down, that left arm comes up and over. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, sweep your hands behind you. So your fingers are pointing forward. Your shoulders come together, your chest and belly lift. You look up, take that nice breath in, and as you exhale, gently press into the floor. Let your hips do most of the work as you lift your hips and drop your knees. Release yourself back down, and then you're going to switch the cross of your legs, whichever was in front, now the other one is. And once again, shoulder blades come together. Lift your belly, your ribs, your chest. Look up. Big sip of air. And as you exhale, lift those hips, drop those knees. Release yourself back down. Sweep your arms back up over your head. Take your left hand, let it come behind you. Right hand comes onto that left thigh. Start to turn your belly, your ribs, your chest, and then you turn your head and look over that left shoulder. Take another breath in. See if you can lift up a bit taller through your ribs, and as you exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, both of your arms come back up. And as you exhale, that right hand comes behind you, left hand on your thigh, turn your belly, your ribs, your chest, and then you're going to look over that left shoulder, or that right shoulder, sorry. Your right, my left. Inhale back to center. And as you exhale, let your hands come back to your knees. See if you can bring the soles of your feet together. And just get a sense of where your knees are at. Notice if your knees are high in the air, or can you relax them a little bit? So we're going to sit for a few breaths in this Supta Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. This is a big challenge for some people through their hips, right? If you have tight hips, your knees might be up here. If you're all loosey-goosey and you have no idea what I'm talking about because your knees are on the mat, then good for you. But if you're somewhere in between, we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And just notice if, as we calmly continue to breathe, we can send a message from our brain to our hips that everything's okay. And we can allow our hip joints to release a little bit. The ligaments around them start to soften. And then we're going to try to take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, let your elbows rest on your calves and come forward. When you feel like you've come as far forward as you possibly can get, you can relax your head. Take a nice breath in, lift yourself back up. And as you exhale, bring your knees together. So we're going to do a little bit of core work right in the beginning here. You're going to hold on behind your thighs, lift up your legs. And when you lift up your legs, see if you can keep them lifted, right? So notice if they're going to start falling down. Try to make a conscious effort to try to keep this 45-degree angle. Maybe you even try to glue your thighs together. And then you're going to let go with one arm. And if everything still feels safe, you're going to let go with the other. And we're going to try to stay here for 3 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale, 1. Another big breath in. Exhale, 2. Another big breath in. Exhale, 3. Hold on to your thighs. Bring yourself a little closer together. And then open up your knees again. Hold on to your feet. Similar to what we were doing when we were seated or when your legs were on the ground and we're seated. So you're now in this bound angle pose again. But we're going to try to open one leg and open the other. Really feel as if your tailbone has roots that's keeping you solidly planted and steady on the ground. Bring the soles of your feet back together. Knees come back together. Hands come next to you. You're going to cross your ankle. Bring your knees in toward your armpits. Send them out. Switch the cross of your legs. Bring your knees back in. Good. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, uncross, hold on to your thighs, sit yourself up. Toes to your face. Navasana boat pose. If you want to try to go a little bit further, you can release one arm. Maybe release the other. 3 breaths. Knees together, feet to the floor. Excellent. Wrap your arms around your legs. Tuck your chin, pull your belly button in. I want you to round your spine. Feel yourself pulling your belly button in, making that curve in your back exaggerated. And then holding on to your knees, lift yourself up. Your chest lifts, you look up, draw your shoulder blades together. And then again, inhale, tuck your chin, pull your belly button in. And exhale, chest leads the way, look up. Come back to a neutral spine, hold on to those thighs again. One leg lifts, the other leg lifts. Feet are at that 45-degree angle. Arms come straight out, maybe you hold on. Because we're gonna try to add a little bit of my annoying Mississippi. You're gonna try to slowly, to a count of 4, tap your feet. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Lift, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Again, tap 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Lift, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Excellent. Hold on to your thighs. Bring yourself back together. And then slowly stretch your arms out in front of you. Nice big breath in. Again, to a count of 4 Mississippi as you exhale. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Hold it. Lift. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. One more time. Lower. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. And then sit up. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Awesome. Hug your knees, round your spine, take a couple of resting breaths. And then bring your hands behind you. You're going to keep your legs bent at this 45-degree angle. You're going to press your hands gently into the mat. Press your feet into the mat. Lift your hips and see if you can come into this reverse table position. And then looking straight ahead, bend your elbows and straighten your elbows. So is your butt going to drop down? Yes, but I want you to be paying attention to your elbows. So bend your elbows and then straighten. Bend your elbows and straighten. Bend your elbows, straighten. Try to stay here for a moment. Stretch your right leg straight out in front of you. And release. Stretch your left leg straight out in front of you. And release. Lower yourself down onto the floor. Beautiful. Cross your legs. Sit up nice and tall again. Shake your wrists out a little bit. Maybe you circle them around a little. And then they go around the other way. Bring your arms straight out to the side. Turn your palms stretching outward like you're pushing 2 walls away from you. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Really activating your upper arms. And now coming to Garudasana or eagle arms, you're going to take your left arm, bring it underneath your right, bend your elbows, palms together. Slowly lift those elbows up. And then slowly lower your elbows down, tap your elbows to the mat, and lift yourself back up. Elbows rise up toward your chin. Slowly lower them down, tap them toward the mat. Lift back up, and then open your arms. Take your thumbs, roll them down, bring your hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to look up. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, fold forward, lift your arms as you drop your head and chest. Lift yourself back up. Arms come out to the side. Push those 2 walls away from you for a moment. And then take your right hand, bring it under your left. Bend your elbows, palms together. Raise those elbows up. And then slowly lower them down. See if you can tap the mat. And then lift yourself back up. Elbows raised to your chin. Slowly lower them down, tap the mat. Lift yourself back up. Open your arms, bring them down in front of you. Relax your shoulders. Stay here for a few breaths. Creep your fingers out as far as you can so you're stretching your arms, you're stretching through your shoulders. Maybe you even feel this going down your back. And lift yourself onto your hands and knees. Right away, take that right foot, stretch it out behind you. So your toes are on the floor, your heel is pressing backward. This is a really big calf stretch. And then slowly lift that right leg up, hold it up. Extend your left arm, look to your left hand. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, bring your knee and elbow to meet. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, send it out. As you exhale, your left hand comes down, your right leg stays up. Bring that right knee to your right elbow. Send it back out. Right knee, right elbow. Send it back out. One more time, right knee, right elbow. Send it back out. Drop your right foot over your left foot. Turn and look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Lift that right leg up. Hold it there for a moment. Lift it a little higher. And then one last time, so a count of 4 Mississippi. Slowly lower your leg down so you can tap your toe. So lower 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, tap, lift 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. Bring your knee back to the mat. And right away, that left foot comes out. Your toes are on the floor. You're pressing your heel back. Stretch through your calf. And then slowly lift that left leg back up. Notice your glute working. Extend your right arm. Look to your right hand. Big breath in. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, send it out. As you exhale, that right hand comes down. Left knee, left elbow. Stretch it out. Left knee, left elbow. Stretch it out. Left knee, left elbow. Stretch it out. Left leg comes behind your right foot. You look over your right shoulder. Look forward. Lift that left leg up. And then slowly lower it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Tap. Lift. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. And then your knee comes back to the mat. Sink your hips to your heels. Come to child's pose for a few breaths. Walk both of your hands to the right side of your mat. Put your left hand on top of your right hand. And then walk your hands all the way over to the left side of your mat. Your right hand comes on top of your left. Come back to center. Lift yourself back to all fours. This time you're going to stretch your right leg out in front of you, or out behind you, your right arm in front of you, and you're going to roll that shoulder back. So you're coming into a supported half moon. You want to get a sense of creating a straight line down your body from your shoulder to your heel. And then challenging your balance a little bit more, look up to that right hand. And then look down to your left hand. Look up to your right hand. Look down to your left hand. Look straight ahead. Start moving that right leg forward. And then move that right leg back. Move that right leg forward. Move your right leg back. One more time, move your right leg forward, leave it there, tap your toe and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift, good. Bring that leg back, bend your right knee, reach behind you, see if you can find that right foot, and then bring your heel as close to your butt as possible. Big stretch in that right hip flexor. And then with control, release your hand. Square off your shoulders, your hips. Step your right foot forward. Bring your hands onto your thigh. Roll your shoulders back. So you want to try to be as upright as possible. Your leg has a little bit of a slope in it, right? It's not back too far. It's nice and far forward. You take a big breath in, and as you exhale, drop yourself down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift, hands together. Exhale, left elbow comes to the outside of that right thigh. You turn and look toward your right shoulder. Come back to center. Release your hands down onto the floor. So we're coming into lizard pose. So just to show you, your hands are inside your foot. And you're going to start with your left elbow. You're going to try to bring it onto the mat. And then maybe your right elbow comes down. Maybe. Maybe you're still on your fingertips. This is a big, big, big hip stretch. Come back up onto your hands. Good. Slide that leg back. Make some big circles all the way around with your hips. And then try to reverse it, go around the other way. Come to a still point, and then your left leg stretches out. Your left arm stretches out. You roll your shoulder back, and here we are in our supported half moon on the other side. So what's supporting you here on your supported half moon? Your right obliques, your right hip, right? It's not just your right wrist. Your right wrist is barely involved. Look up to your left hand. Look down to your right hand. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Then look straight ahead. Slowly bring that left leg forward. And then slowly bring it back. Slowly bring it forward. Slowly bring it back. Slowly bring it forward. Leave it there. Tap your toe and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Leg comes back. Bend your knee. Reach behind you. See if you can find that left foot and really bring your heel toward your butt. Your hand comes onto the mat. Your hips level off and that left foot steps forward and you transfer your hands onto your thigh. So once again, one of the most important things here is making sure that that left foot's not too far back. You lift it up, you bring it forward. Roll your shoulders back. Your back is upright. I'm not coming forward, I'm coming down. So nice breath in. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Stay here for a few breaths. Lift yourself up, hands together, right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Turn and look toward your left shoulder. Sometimes if you press your hands into each other, it makes you feel a little steadier. So those thumbs are pointing toward your mouth. You're using that whole left foot, even if it's wobbling around, you're trying to keep it steady. And then come back. Release your hands to the floor, right? We're coming into lizard. So first, just so you can see, you bring your outer elbow down first, then your inner elbow. If you feel okay, you can make like a little table with your thumbs and rest your forehead there. But maybe this is too much and you stay on your hands. Or maybe you have a block or a pillow or something. This is an intense pose, but we're gonna hold it for a few more breaths. Lift yourself up. Good. Slide your leg back and then make some of those nice big circles, loosening up any tension. Then you try to reverse it and go around the other way. Come to a still point, flop yourself down, swing your legs in front of you. So we just did, we started out sitting with our feet together, letting our ligaments attaching to our hips relax. We did that really big lizard stretch. So we're gonna try to take your right foot and put it on top of your left thigh. Right, we prepared for this, but it still might not be the most delightful feeling. If it feels like, holy schmoly, I'm really stretching through my hip and quad, that's fine. If you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm really doing something that I think is causing big trouble, then stretch your front leg out in front of you, or don't do it at all. So your right hand's gonna rest on your knee. You're gonna lift yourself up nice and tall, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, lean forward. Lift yourself back up. This time your arms are gonna come over your head, palms forward, big breath in, exhale, come forward. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. And then if it feels okay, take your right hand, put it on top of your left hand. Come back to center. Slide your hands up. Pick up your foot. Let it rest in the crook of your arm. Wrap your other arm around it and rock it back and forth. Your left foot is going to, your right foot, I'm sorry, is going to land on the outside of that left thigh. Wrap your arms around your leg and sit up really tall. As you do that, you should probably feel yourself stretching that right glute. We're going to try to stay here for a few breaths. Release your arms, uncross your legs, open up your knees, take your hands, bring them inside your legs, wrap your hands either around your shins, maybe you hold on to your ankles, maybe you hold on to your feet. You take a big breath in, and as you exhale, you come forward, forward, forward. And we're gonna stay here. A lot of different variations on the same theme, right? Look at all this hip work. When you hold a pose, we're sending a message to our brain. Everything's okay. You can release. You don't have to guard. You have to hold on to tension. Slide your hands up your legs. And then your right foot comes down. Your left foot comes on top of your right thigh. Maybe, maybe not. And you kind of survey the situation. You're like, how do things feel over here? Your hand's going to rest on your knee. You're going to guide it down a little bit, right? You're not pushing it down. You're not forcing it down. You're not shoving it down. Words matter, right? You're guiding it gently. Big breath in, lift up. And as you exhale, lean forward. Lift yourself back up. Bring your arms up this time. Palms forward. As you exhale, fold forward. And then maybe you walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe your left hand comes on top of your right hand. Walk your hands back to center. Slide them up. Pick up that left foot. Let it rest in the crook of your arm. You wrap your other leg around and you rock it back and forth. And now that left foot's gonna land at the outside of your right thigh. You're gonna wrap your arms around your leg. You're gonna hug it into the midline of your body as tight as you can. As you inhale, sit up as tall as you can. And as you exhale, relax that left glute. And try to stay here for a few breaths. Feel yourself connected. Feel that grounding. Right? What are we working on today? We're working on being grounded, being connected. Trying not to feel caught up in the hecticness, the discombobulation going on around us. We do that through grounding work. Open your legs and then just windshield wiper them back and forth a little bit. Come to a still point. Arms are going to come straight back. And here is when you can use your own version of slow. Slowly lower yourself down onto your mat. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And once you come down, bring your right knee in, bring your left knee in. Hold on to your kneecaps and start to make some big circles all the way around with your knees. And then reverse it. See if you can go around the other way. Come to a still point. Place your left foot on the floor. Right foot comes over your left. And you're going to start to bring this left thigh in toward your chest. Your hands can come either under your knee or around your knee. And you're going to bring that left knee in toward your chest as much as you can. Stretching those hips. So even in our supported half moon pose, which is a big balancing pose, even when you're supported on the ground, we're still adding a lot of hip strengthening into that. So spend a little bit of time here. See if you can release any tension that built up in those hips. Uncross your feet, place them back onto the floor. Walk your feet to the edges of your mat like you look like you're about to give birth. And let both of your knees fall down to the left. And then take your left foot, put it on top of your right knee. Release that left foot, bring your legs back to center, walk your feet a little closer together, and now you take your left foot, you put it on top of your right knee, you bring that right knee in toward your chest and you hold on. Release your hands, uncross your feet, bring them onto the mat, walk them nice and far out to the side, and then your knees fall down to the left, and you take, oh no, I'm sorry, your knees fall down to the right, and you take your right foot and you put it on your left knee. Release your foot, bring your knees back to center, and then one by one, bring your knees in toward your chest. Open them up. Hold on to the outer edges of your feet, right? Here we go, last variation on the same theme. You're gonna open one leg out to the side, open the other, and gently rock yourself from side to side in Happy Baby. I've been on a little bit of a rocking kick lately, right? Rocking is so soothing, so comforting. We rock babies all the time. Sometimes if we're lucky enough to have a nice rocking chair, we can rock in our rocking chair. But just rocking yourself back and forth on the floor, very comforting. And then bend your knees a little bit like you're coming toward your armpits. Bring the soles of your feet back together. Let the soles of your feet come back to the floor. Knees fall open to the side. Same position we practically started off in, but now we're lying down. Supta Baddha Konasana. If you would like, for a breath or two, you can let your hands rest on your thighs and maybe ever so gently guide them a little bit further down. And then release your arms, turn your palms upward. Take your thumb and ring finger and once again, join them together. Stretch your right leg straight out in front of you. Stretch your left leg straight out in front of you. Feel all of the points of contact between your body and the earth. Your heels, maybe the outer edges of your feet, your calves, your hips, your low back, the back of your hands, the back of your arms, your shoulders, the back of your head. Feel the support of the earth below you. And silently repeat to yourself, I am grounded, I am supported, I am safe. I am grounded, I am supported. I am safe. Slowly begin to travel through whatever movements your body likes to travel through to come back to sit. And see if you can keep your eyes closed if possible. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment to express gratitude toward yourself as always for not just making the commitment to spend some time on your mat this afternoon, but for actually doing it. And then express gratitude at your ability to help use your practice as a way to feel grounded, as a way to feel supported, and as a way to feel safe. If you would like to seal your practice with the sound of Om, we can chant one Om together. You're all muted, so feel free to Om as loudly as you'd like. If you're joining me, take a big breath in. Namaste. Thank you all